Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Jakub Vaniš. This is JV Talks, a podcast where I'm talking about, all the different things that are interesting for me, that is happening around me. Usually, it's something related to tech, AI, or it can be a review of a TV series or of a movie, or like an album, or maybe even a video game or a book. And this time it's gonna be a TV series that I wanted to review. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go. So I have recently wrapped up watching Arcane season 2 from Netflix. They decided to do it a little bit differently this time. They basically split it into 3 acts. Altogether, it's 9 episodes, and each episode is around, let's say, 40 to 50 minutes, quite long episodes with a great animation. And so they had 3 acts, altogether 9 episodes, so 3 episodes equaled always 1 act. And I think they wrapped up last weekend around 23rd, 24th of November or something like that. They always released a bunch of episodes, that full act, 3 episodes at once per week. And honestly, I was never a big fan of what Netflix has been doing, since the beginning of Netflixing, which was basically, giving you the whole thing so you can binge watch it. I am not a big fan of this. I actually enjoy really waiting for the next episode for the next week, even though you're intrigued, but it kind of gets that culture of people talking about what happened next. You can have this kind of water bottle or coffee talks with your colleagues in the office, etc. That doesn't usually happen when you can binge watch it. There are fanatics that will always watch the whole show in one go, over that one weekend or even in one day. And then there are spoilers everywhere. If you're on social media and on Instagram or X, then they're gonna spoil it for you. So this was actually like a great solution for this problem. Every week, 3 episodes, perfect. You have a chance to catch up, but you also can satisfy this kind of itch to scratch, with those 3 episodes, with that bundle. So I really applaud them for this. This time, actually, it was a follow-up of the season 1, which was critically acclaimed. It won a bunch of Emmys. Everybody loved it, especially for like almost everything, but especially for animation. So this was a follow-up from 2021 when the season 1 wrapped up. Now in 2024 we got a season 2. And it's been basically already announced that this is the final season. They're not gonna make any new seasons, which is a bad thing and a good thing in its way. Some people actually like to have like a wrapped up story. I think here there are still some open ends, but yeah, overall it is kind of a satisfying ending. So let's get right into the things that I like about it the most. Let's start maybe with the season 1. So Arcane was developed by a studio that is based in Paris in France, and they're called Fortiche. I believe it's pronounced Fortiche, which should actually translate to something like very clever, I think. So Fortiche in Paris, super talented guys. I really adore this style of animation. It's something in between like 3D CGI and like hand-drawn anime Japanese style of animation, but really detailed, and like especially when it shines is when there's a lot of particle effects, when there's a lot of fights, when there are things blowing up, etc. Already Arcane season 1 blew me over. It was extremely high quality. I think they really upped it here for the season 2. You can see even better details. It's just so lifelike, and yeah, this might be actually my favorite style of animation now going forward, honestly. Unfortunately, what we've heard about this is that, basically they spent, I think, 7 years preparing that season 1, developing everything and the technology in order to get there, and then 3 years to do the season 2. And that's 10 years of the life of these people in Paris. And yeah, apparently they're kind of tired of the material right now, so they will not continue doing any Arcane stuff. That's why season to wrap up the whole story. Well, originally, there are rumors that there were supposed to be 3 seasons, and it almost feels like it, in this series. It feels like some of the decisions and some of the episodes were quite rushed. We were really rushing towards the end, especially the last 3 episodes. We were really trying to catch up, and there was so much happening at the same time, which is a little bit of a downside. But yeah, I guess, they just didn't have it in them, to continue another 3 years to just finish the story in a satisfying conclusion of 3 seasons. And that's fine. I think, whatever they do or decide to do next, if it's with Riot or with somebody else, I will definitely follow them, because that animation style is top notch. I don't think that anybody in the world is actually doing something like this. So yeah, that's regarding the animation and what's behind it. Though, we are not really finished with, stories from that universe. So the League of Legends universe, League of Legends is one of the biggest games in the world right now. I don't really play it, maybe from time to time, but there's a lot of toxic players there, to be honest. So, if you're new, it's probably better to stay away from it. But it has a really deep lore, I don't know, almost 200 champions or something like that, and they're coming from different worlds. And yeah, so this is just a part of it, this tale of two cities, fighting against each other. Piltover and the other one is Zon. So these two, is just a fraction of the whole universe, and a fraction of, champions or characters that we actually visited. So they are developing new stories, but apparently it's not gonna happen with Fortiche, with this studio. So it's gonna be a different style of animation, or maybe not animation whatsoever. They didn't announce exactly, from which parts of the city, stories it's gonna be, and if some of the characters, from Arcane are gonna revisit. I don't really know, but it came really like a miracle in 2021. I didn't have high expectations for it, and it's like a combination of a thing that looks like, it's gonna be good for teenagers, but it has really like brutal scenes, a lot of adult, motives in it. I really got engaged, and what I really like about it is those episodes are really long, 40 to 50 minutes of a pure godlike animation that's amazing. And they usually hide quite a lot of, like musical numbers into it. So there's like kind of little musical videos in it, and a lot of big bands and individual musicians made their career kind of on this, because in every episode there's a couple songs that really highlight it. Like, if you're not really into this material, just check out, on YouTube, like the OST, the soundtrack of Arcane Season 2 and Season 1. Because in this one we have 21 Pilots, we have, of course, Imagine Dragons, we have what? Linkin Park is there, of course. Actually, one episode is even called Heavy is the Crown, just like the song from Linkin Park. And one of my favorite, there was like a chant style, super hardcore, very dark and very brutal music in one particular episode that is probably my favorite, and it was called Misha Mansoor, and the song is called The Beast. Check it out, definitely check it out. I'm gonna link it below, on YouTube at least, so you can check this out. So the season 1 was amazing because it was focusing mainly on this family, these two girls, Violet or Vi, and Jinx, or Powder before, so these two, and their father and their upbringing, and it was a very tight story, easy to follow and very emotional. Like, a lot of things were happening, a lot of sacrifices, unfortunately, were happening, and it got into me. I was definitely emotional, watching that season 1, and it is definitely in my top 10, series of all time. Now, that's why I was really looking forward to Season 2. Now, when I started with the Season 2, I was a little bit disappointed at first, but don't let it, kind of, disturb you. You should continue watching it, because what I'm gonna tell you is that basically first 2 episodes, I think, the first act in general, but especially the first 2 episodes, are kind of slow, because that first season was so tight and just around this one family, and you really had time to introduce those characters and go deep. It was easy to follow. Here they are trying to do bigger, better, more grandiose, bigger stakes, and introducing more characters, etc. So it's a little bit all over the place, the first 2 episodes. It feels like not much is happening, and we're just getting inconsistently, introduced to new characters and new plot points. But it pays off. It pays off, and all disappears. That kind of a little bit of boredom, just a little bit of boredom after these 2 episodes, and then it's a roller coaster ride until the end. So if you stick through it, then I'm pretty sure you're gonna get your money's worth, I would say, because episode 3 is already amazing. Episode 4 is probably my favorite. There's something happening with, yeah, I don't know, like, this is okay. Let's do spoilers here. So there's something happening with Warwick, which is like a Wolverine or type of character, and it's just, oh my god, it's so dark. It's like a horror, and the music, like I said, this Misha Mansour, is happening in the background. They are in the prison. It's just, like, I love this. Like, I had chills and goosebumps all over my body when I was watching it. And yeah, there is like a plot twist there that I'm not gonna fully spoil here, but it's just so good to watch it. So especially like the episode 4 was really, really amazing. Episode 5 went slightly down because again they focus on like different plot points, but then episode 6, I guess I would say, is my favorite, because the stakes were so high, there was so much happening on screen, and it was the most emotional episode. Like, something happened there that I'm not gonna spoil, that was just, yeah, for a father of a small girl and a small boy, this is something that hit me right into yeah, the core. So yeah, of course I was tearing up, man, as a grown-up man. Like, this is something that hits you. So episode 6, fully recommend. And then episode 7, totally different material, but also very, very high. What they try to do there is they're kind of experimenting with going into different universes, or like multiverse, basically, like with Marvel. And so it's like, what if the life was different? What if these 2 girls were not so kind of tortured, and Jinx was not so evil, etc. So that was so cool to see, like, a life in a universe where they're all happy and they're not going through these terrible things. So that was super sweet, kind of bittersweet at the end, because it's kind of almost like a dream, because they all need to come back to their universes. And so that was kind of a big twist. This episode 7 was just fully dedicated to basically this. Then they introduced also like time traveling. Episode 8 was just a preparation for the finale, I would say. So for me, it went down a little bit. And they also introduced new plot points with like these roses and mages, which was, yeah, a little bit out of place. Sometimes the series was trying just to do a bit too much for my taste, I would say. And then episode 9 as the finale was, yeah, amazing. I would say some people were disappointed because it's not really a true happy ending, like sort of happy ending, but it's again bittersweet. And yeah, we need to say goodbye to quite a lot of characters. A lot of them die. Maybe not as many as in season 1, but there's like a galactic type of battle. Like, really suddenly you're fighting for the full universe, kind of, or yeah, of League of Legends. So yeah, that's a little bit different, compared to season 1, where they were just looking at these 2 cities, and specifically this one family, these 2 girls, these 2 sisters, where in season 2 suddenly we're saving the world. So I'm not really up for it. I think people that really enjoy Marvel movies, etc., they will like this, that the stakes are so high. But in general, if I would have to rate this, the season 1 for me was clear, let's say between 9 and 10 out of 10, so 9.5 out of 10 or something like that. This one is between 8 and 9, so slightly lower, let's say 8.5, but still the highs are so high. I can fully recommend it to anybody. Like, if you're a grown-up, if you're a teenager, if you're a man or woman, you're gonna find something that you love about this, be it the animation, be it some of the characters, be it the music, be it the world. It's really something incredible. And honestly, 2024 has been quite good for the TV series, fans. There's just a lot going on. Shogun was just out of the gate amazing. Fallout was really great video game adaptation. I really hold it high. in my kind of top 10 list of this year. I'm currently watching Silo on Apple TV, and that also looks great. So, and this one is definitely in the top 3 this year. Like Shogun for sure tops it for me still, but this one is maybe second right now. Let's see what Silo does towards the end. But yeah, I mean, I would really recommend it to everybody, because these characters that are there, Jinx, Violet, these two sisters, Caitlyn, suddenly there's kind of a love story there, and Caitlyn becomes so dark and so determined. There's such a twist of her character. I really enjoyed it. Echo is so badass. He used to be such a kind of a junior character in the season 1. Now he's the main guy, and especially towards the end, he becomes so important and so badass and so brave. You just root for him, and there are such heroistic kind of moments for him and Jinx. I really was, I felt like I want to stand up and applaud for them. Heimerdinger, always super sweet, professor, cute. Jace, yeah, I think some people gonna hate that character now, because he had to do something to course correct what's happening in the universe. He had to kind of take that sacrifice, and he becomes, some people, especially in the episode 6, will not understand his doing. I was pissed off at him, to be honest. so yeah, Jace is gonna be a bit polarizing, I would say. Victor, amazing character. Like, again, that progression, what is happening in his arc is just incredible, and the design that the team from Fortiche did with him is even so much better than in the game. And now actually in the game they're updating these skins so they reflect how they looked in this TV series. Ambessa was also super strong and badass female character. Warwick, like I said, incredible. Mel, and my favorite Isha, this little girl that I was talking about, that kind of reminded me of my daughter. So like I said, soundtrack is stellar. Definitely, check it also for the soundtrack. If nothing else, just check the soundtrack and maybe a trailer. I will also link it down below on YouTube so you can check it out. And if that doesn't catch you, then that's fine. But if it catches you, like I said, please, start with the season 1, then you can go right into the season 2. Just bear through the first 2 episodes, which are a little bit slower. They're taking their time to introduce the world and the characters and the stakes, but then it's such a roller coaster. It's gonna be over in a heartbeat, and we really need to enjoy these moments while we have them, because like I said, Fortiche will not do any other Arcane season, so this story is over for them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they are bringing next from other universes, what type of stories, but it's such a pity. I think there's more stories to say, even for these 2 cities and these 2 sisters, etc. I wanted to also highlight that the characters, and especially the voice actors, did an incredible job. I wanted to highlight 2 of them. Harry Lloyd was voicing the Victor character, and I've seen an interview with him where he was basically saying that he is doing like a Czech accent, which is incredible. I'm a Czech myself, Czech native. So yeah, that makes me proud, and I can kind of hear it, what he goes for. So that's super cool. Victor has, a Czech heritage, let's say, and he becomes so powerful. It's it's amazing to see the transformation. And Ella Purnell as Jinx, arguably the main character of the series. She nails it, and she is so high right now because she does the voice of Jinx here, but this year she also did the main character in Fallout, and she, I think, is also in, and I didn't watch that, this Addams Family thing, how is it called, Wednesday, I think. So I think she's there as well. So she's such a star right now. She's gonna be in big Hollywood productions going forward. I'm just 100% sure about that, and I think she totally deserves every praise because she nails it. So yeah, everybody, everything is on point. Like I said, music, animation, the voice actors, the story, the world, it's just not so often does it happen that you have so many things to praise about one show. So let's enjoy while we have this, and I'm a little bit sad that we're gonna wait another probably not even 3 years, because if they Fortiche is gonna go for something else than League of Legends or Arcane, they have to develop again a totally new technology maybe for it and different style. So again, it's probably gonna take them 5 to 6 years to do that. And if the, let's say, new animation studios are coming in to fill in kind of for them and back up, then it's just not gonna be the same. It's gonna be a different animation style. I don't know if it's gonna work with us, and it feels really sad, to say goodbye to these two cities and to these two ladies or all of these other characters that I mentioned. So yeah, I would say just stop what you're doing, over this weekend. Just go out there and check it out, on Netflix. I think you will definitely not regret it. I think this everybody will find something that is closer to his or her heart, be it kind of the family story of these ladies. And just get ready that sometimes it gets a bit brutal, and sad. It gets emotional. Characters are dying all over the place, so don't get too attached, I would say. But yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Did you watch it? What did you think about the ending? Did you like the story arcs and the character arcs that they were introducing here? What did you think about also the official soundtrack? Like, did they up the game from the season 1? Was the animation better than the season 1? I definitely see, how they were trying to update it. My only downside, like I mentioned, is by bringing everything up, they also try to bring the stakes too high, and like I said, they suddenly were trying to save the whole world and the whole universe, and that was a bit more unfocused compared to the season 1, which was so focused, such a condensed story, which I honestly prefer. So yeah, this has been Jakub Vaniš. Thanks a lot for, listening into my podcast for JV Talks. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So enjoy and have a good one. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye. Cheers. Bye.